Welcome to the After Spin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask John Hood and Chris Fitzsimon both. The NC Department of Health and Human Services has submitted North Carolina's plans to reform Medicaid, providing a per member per month fee to both MCOs and LMEs. Several analysts have studied the plan and given the opinion that better judgment and management of Medicaid coupled with recent surpluses have put the system in lots better shape, and they are questioning whether we even needed Medicaid reform in the first place. What's your response?
Well, I do think it raises some questions. I mean, we were told, Governor McCrory said this often, the Medicaid system is broken. We had huge deficits, and the Republicans are now saying we have a huge surplus in Medicaid, and there hasn't been a lot of explanation about what the surplus comes from. A majority of the surplus comes from two things. One is they dramatically over projected the enrollees in Medicaid, and the projection was well above what they projected during the Great Recession. So it was a wildly, I think, inflated projection, so then it comes in well under projections and you have a lot of money. The second thing is the federal government made a slight adjustment into how much they reimburse North Carolina for every North Carolina dollar, a tiny adjustment, but when that's that much money, it's more than $100 million. So I think it's almost 2/3, almost 3/4 of the money, the surplus actually came from, not from better management, it came from over projections and the federal government making the adjustment in the reimbursement rate. So I think that does sort of call into question the big claims that Medicaid was broken.
So you're not answering the yes or no question, did we need Medicaid reform?
Well, I think we need to always make sure Medicaid is better, but I'm persuaded by the doctors and the physicians who testified all across the state, including many very accomplished physicians who've been in it a long time, who believe we've made a mistake by turning this over to conceivably out-of-state for-profit companies when we ought to keep it in North Carolina.
You get the last word, John. What do you think about Medicaid reform?
Well, I think it's needed. I think that most states have some kind of contracting system for Medicaid. It seems to work as well as anything with Medicaid can work in most of those states. There's certainly lessons we can learn as we proceed in North Carolina. But if the reason why the recent Medicaid numbers came in better has nothing to do with the actual management of the existing program, and it has to do with overestimating the number of enrollees or changes in federal reimbursement, then that suggests that the current system is not necessarily the explanation, that trying a different system, particularly as when we go through the next recession, we have an upsurge in enrollees, having a different system that might pull costs down more would be important.
So you say Medicaid reform was needed?
Yes, of course we should monitor its implementation carefully.
All right. We thank you for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.